I really enjoy watching the complex coronary cases live each month that are broadcast here on CardioSource. And one of the reasons that I like it is because I learn all kinds of things about different techniques. Today we're going to be talking about something that when I first started off in this business, we were talking about atherectomy. It has returned for complex cases, and the paper is in the May 2014 issue of JACC Interventions. You can read about the pivotal trial to evaluate the safety and efficacy of the Orbital Atherectomy System in treating de novo severely calcified coronary lesions, or Orbit-2, which is a lot easier to say. I'm with Dr. Jeffrey Chambers, who is the Director of Research and the Director of the Cath Lab at a wonderful place, Metropolitan Heart and Vascular Institute, and also you're part of Mercy Hospital up there in Minneapolis. Thank you very much. I remember I was 25 years younger when they first started talking about atherectomy. It is back, but these are really complex lesions, and that's why it's back.
Yeah, they're really complex lesions, and I think not just that, but the technology is different. So the technology may have some differences in the mechanism of action that allows to have better outcomes. So Orbit 1 was the first in man, and that was done outside the U.S., 50 patients as a primary safety trial, and we used that data to go with the FDA and get approval for the Orbit 2 trial. So the Orbit 2 trial is the pivotal trial to test the Orbital Atherectomy System in de novo severely calcified coronary lesions. And the idea is that we can change the compliance of the artery, which means it make it easier to expand, and facilitate stent delivery. So it's not really a standalone technology, it's an enabling technology. And as you said earlier, those very severe lesions are difficult to treat, there's not many options. So it was a multi-center prospective single-arm trial. We looked at 440 patients, and we studied two endpoints. One was efficacy, which is can we deliver a stent successfully, 97.7% of the time. The second was safety, and that was our 30-day MACE, major adverse cardiac complications, and that was very successful. That was our freedom from MACE was 89%, which exceeded the performance goal by a significant margin.
So it certainly looks like atherectomy is back again in some very, very specialized cases, but it has returned.
It definitely has returned, and I think we just presented the one-year data last month, and that showed that these benefits are durable. We looked at restenosis or target lesion revascularization out to a year, and it was only 4.7%. So pretty amazing, durable results. So I think that's why people haven't used rotational atherectomy, rotoblator, as much, because they might get some acute benefit, but the long-term benefit wasn't there.
Correct.
Where in the Orbit 2 study, we are seeing long-term benefit.
I mean, that was because there seemed to be some damage to the intima. There was just some problems that eventually caught up with you with using that earlier system.
That's exactly right. Even if you might have a better acute gain, long-term down the road, they had more late loss and more restenosis. But we're not seeing that with this device.
What's interesting, although you're not reporting on this, it's also being used somewhat in peripheral arterial disease.
Yes, it's been used in many peripheral cases, commercially available for several years, and my peripheral interventional colleagues tell me that essentially that's the go-to device for calcified lesions below the knee.
Is there going to be an Orbital 3?
We don't have a specific Orbit 3 planned. We do have some additional upcoming trials, and I want to congratulate CSI on their ability to continue looking at the science. They're doing a couple of studies. One is looking at how people with calcium are treated nowadays and what the outcome. And there's potentially a new iteration of the device that's going to go into clinical trials shortly.
Well, congratulations. And like I said, this is a topic that I know goes back a ways, and it's really nice to see this come back again because it means I know something about it already and I don't have to study so hard. For JACC Interventions, it's in the May 2014 issue. Please look at the paper by Dr. Chambers et al. And see what's up in Orbit 2. For CardioSource World News, I'm Executive Editor Rick McGuire.